When a hurricane, financial crash, or social breakdown hits, most people are thinking, how do I get my family through this week? Predators are thinking, how do I get rich, powerful, or protected for the next 10 years? This video is about those people, the ones who thrive in chaos, and how you can spot them before you or someone you love becomes their next mark. Let's start in a motel room, thousands of miles from New Orleans, a few months after Hurricane Katrina. A woman walks into a FEMA assistance center with a tragic story. Her 2 daughters drowned in the flood. She lost everything. She just needs a little help to get back on her feet. The government writes a check. Charities send cash. People cry hearing her story. There's just one problem. None of it is true. Her daughters never existed. The address she gave never flooded. The entire identity, the grief, the tears, fabricated. And she wasn't alone. After Katrina, thousands of people across at least 22 states filed fake claims, staged bogus charity drives, and used stolen Social Security numbers, including numbers of the deceased, to siphon off hundreds of millions of dollars meant for real victims. While the country grieved, they saw an opening. That's predator rule number 1 in a collapse. When everyone else is in survival mode, they're in opportunity mode. Now here's the twist that should scare you a little. These people don't need the world to end. They just need your world to feel like it's ending. Think about it. For you, collapse might be a hurricane leveling your town, a grid failure, riots in your city, or just losing your job and your savings in the same month. For predators, the exact cause doesn't matter. What matters is this combination of ingredients: fear and uncertainty, confused or overwhelmed authorities, money, aid, or attention flowing fast with weak oversight, people desperate for hope, cash, or protection. You don't have to be standing in waist-deep floodwater for predators to circle. A financial meltdown, a pandemic, or even digital chaos, a hacked bank, a widespread outage, can create the same fog of war they know how to exploit. So who are these people exactly? When society fractures, 3 predator types rise fast: street-level wolves, scam architects, and respectable super predators in suits. Street-level wolves are the ones you imagine first: looters, violent criminals, gangs. After major disasters, crime patterns can shift quickly. Property crime, opportunistic theft, and assaults can spike when security collapses, communication fails, and police presence thins. In Port-au-Prince, after the Haiti earthquake, researchers estimated over 10,000 sexual assaults in just the first 6 weeks, with most victims being women. That's not panic. That's predators recognizing that no one's watching. These are the predators who target isolated people, especially those separated from family or community. Exploit dark, damaged, or chaotic environments where witnesses are unlikely. Use immediate force or intimidation, not subtle manipulation. They thrive when neighborhoods are evacuated, streets are dark, and normal social protections vanish. Their hunting grounds become shelters, broken neighborhoods, and any space where fear outweighs oversight. But the second type is probably more relevant to your daily life: scam architects. These are the predators watching CNN, not the streets. When they see a hurricane, wildfire, or pandemic on TV, they don't see tragedy. They see a fresh market. After Katrina, people set up fake charity websites, staged fraudulent auctions for relief, and filed dozens of bogus aid claims using addresses across multiple states. After the COVID-19 outbreak, federal authorities reported a surge of fraud and price gouging. Everything from counterfeit face masks to bogus relief fund scams and fake small business loans. Here's their playbook. They mimic authority: FEMA, the IRS, relief funds, big charities. They push urgency. Funds are limited. You must act now. You'll lose your spot. They use your fear against you: fear of losing a home, missing a benefit, getting sick, or not feeding your kids. They don't need a gun. They just need your email, your phone number, or your banking app. They call pretending to be FEMA, saying your flood insurance premium is overdue and must be paid immediately. Or they send texts promising fast relief if you verify your social security number. Thousands fall for it. Third, you have the super predators, the people in boardrooms and high offices who quietly design systems that cash in on chaos. Criminologists call one version of this control fraud, when someone who controls a major organization uses it as a weapon to loot the public. Think executives who design products or financial instruments that are almost guaranteed to explode during a downturn, but rake in millions for them personally, while taxpayers or pension funds eat the loss. The product might be technically legal, the disclosures buried in paperwork, the risks spread across millions of people who don't fully understand what they bought. In a crisis, these super predators lobby for special bailouts or emergency programs they're positioned to capture, offload risk onto the public and keep upside for themselves, use complex structures to hide what they're actually doing until it's too late. This is the predator most people never see coming, because they appear on CNBC instead of in a mugshot. Mini hook. So how do you actually spot these people before they get close enough to feed on you? You look for 3 patterns: where they hunt, who they hunt, and what they need from you. First, where they hunt. Predators choose environments they can control, physically, psychologically, or informationally. That might be a pitch-black parking lot behind a half-open mall during a blackout, a crowded shelter with no clear structure or security, a virtual town hall about relief payments hosted on a sketchy link you got via text, a webinar for emergency wealth protection run by a guy who appeared yesterday and promises 30% monthly returns during a crash. The more isolated, confused, or one-sided the environment, the more confident the predator becomes. If they control the space, whether it's a dark stairwell, a private DM, or a gated investment community, they control your options. Second, who they hunt. Real predators are picky. They don't want to fight. They want a sure thing. They scan for people distracted or emotionally overwhelmed, staring at their phones, crying, arguing, or clearly lost. People physically isolated, walking alone, split off from their group, wandering away from crowds. People signaling compliance, over-apologizing, avoiding eye contact, freezing when approached. People desperate, those asking for help, money, information, or protection. Desperation is like blood in the water. Online predators who exploit teenagers work the same way. They understand psychology, vulnerability, and how to build trust before they exploit it. The environment changes, from a disaster shelter to a chat room, but the hunting pattern is the same. Third, what they need from you. Every predator needs one of 4 things: your body, your money, your silence, or your reputation. Street predators want control of your body and your immediate environment. Scam predators want direct access to your money or identity. Super predators want your buy-in, your vote, your investment, your endorsement, your quiet acceptance. If someone shows up in crisis and pushes for any of those things with speed and pressure, that's your first red flag. Mini hook. Here's a mental trick that can save you. Ask, if everything goes wrong here, who still wins? Let's test it on a fake disaster charity. Scenario: wildfires rip across several states. You see a viral post with heartbreaking photos, a Cash App link, and a caption like, "We're getting supplies directly to the victims. No bureaucracy. 100% of your donation goes to families." Comments are full of "just donated" and "bless you." It feels real. It feels urgent. Now you ask, if this whole thing turns out to be fake, who still wins? Answer: the account owner. They vanish with thousands of dollars tax-free, no paperwork, no oversight. You, the donor, not only lose money but also become more cynical next time, making it harder for real victims to get help. Or take the guy selling exclusive disaster-proof investments during a market crash. Worst case for him? He keeps a chunk of your money as fees or claims. Markets were unpredictable. We all lost some. That's just how it goes. Worst case for you? You lose savings you needed for rent, medical bills, or food. In both cases, when the dust clears, the predator walks away better off even if everything they said fails. That asymmetry is the tell. So how do you actually defend yourself and your family when things start to crack? First, slow down the timeline. Predators live on your panic. They need you to feel like you have seconds, not hours, to decide. In a crisis, financial, natural, or personal, build a default rule. If someone you don't already trust asks you for money, access, or a big decision, you step away and give it at least 1 hour. No exceptions. During COVID, organizations that studied fraud called the situation a perfect storm. Fear, confusion, sudden changes in rules, and billions of dollars moving fast. The people who got ripped off the worst weren't stupid. They were rushed. Second, verify sideways, not just forward. If someone claims to be from FEMA, the Red Cross, your bank, or a relief program, don't verify with them. Verify with the institution through official channels. That means hang up and call the official number listed on the organization's website. Go directly to the official.gov or trusted.org site instead of clicking links in texts or emails. For charities, use a third-party checker or official registry before donating. During Katrina, a huge portion of bogus claims came in over the phone, where people trusted voices and caller ID more than they should. Don't let the next disaster repeat that script with you. Third, stay visible and connected in physical spaces. In post-disaster environments, shelters, dark neighborhoods, crowded aid lines, predators thrive in corners, stairwells, and isolated routes. Simple habits matter. Move in pairs or groups whenever possible. Stay in well-lit, higher traffic areas even if the line is longer or the wait is worse. If something feels off about a person or space, trust that signal and reposition yourself, even if you feel rude. Remember that after some major disasters, researchers documented rapid rises in certain crimes like sexual assault precisely where security and social structure collapsed. Don't treat your safety like an afterthought. Fourth, learn to read intent, not just words. A predator's language often gives them away. They will. Minimize your concerns. You're overthinking it. Everybody's doing this. Create false consensus. Everyone in your situation is signing up. Push isolation. Don't tell anyone, they'll just scare you out of a good thing. Flip the script. If you hesitate, suddenly you're the problem. I thought you were serious about protecting your family. They don't just ask for trust, they demand it, and they punish doubt. That's not leadership. That's predation. Fifth, widen your circle of skepticism upward, not just downward. It's easy to be suspicious of the random guy in a parking lot and completely uncritical of the polished executive on TV or the politician promising to cut through red tape with a new emergency program. But history shows that some of the most damaging predators operate at the very top, using crises to expand their power, bury their mistakes, or quietly transfer wealth. When you hear, "We need this passed immediately," there's no time to read the fine print. This is too complex for the average person to understand. Trust the experts. If you question this, you're against the victims. Your predator alarm should go off, especially if the people pushing it stand to benefit massively if it passes and face almost no consequences if it fails. The hard truth is this: when society cracks, you don't become who you wish you were. You become whatever your habits already trained you to be. If your default is to outsource thinking, avoid conflict, and rush big decisions when you're stressed, you are exactly the kind of person predators are counting on. But if your default is to slow down, verify independently, move in groups, and ask, what does this person lose if they're wrong? You become a much harder target. So here's the uncomfortable question. In a real collapse, whether it's a local disaster or a national crisis, are you more likely to be the hunter, the shield, or the prey? This isn't about turning you into a paranoid doomsday prepper. It's about making you predator-proof in very normal ways. Build the habit now of checking sources, not clicking impulses. Practice saying, "I need to think about this," even when someone pushes you. Talk with your family about simple safety rules for blackouts, evacuations, and online emergencies, so you're not making it up under pressure. Because predators are already practicing. They're running their playbooks on smaller crises, learning what works, and waiting for the next big one. If you want a follow-up video where we break down specific real-world scams that spike after hurricanes, pandemics, and market crashes, and how to walk through them untouched, tell me in the comments, what kind of collapse worries you the most right now? And if you don't want to be the easiest meal on the menu when things go sideways, do this. Hit like so this reaches more people before the next disaster, not after. Drop a comment with one predator red flag you've seen in your own life. Share this with someone who always says, "That would never happen to me." And subscribe with notifications on, because in the next episodes, we're going to dissect real cases where predators turned chaos into cash, and how you can spot the pattern long before it hits your bank account or your front door.